come for a whipping, eh?
My respects to your service.
Yeah. Don't think you're gonna curry my favor.
What do you want?
What's new around here?
Well, Zadmira Blacksmith had one too many a while back and told me some curious things. His wife was having an affair with Tomlin Brutons from Horsham, but then she sent her Zadmir to rough Tomlin up. I've no idea how things are between them. Strange thing is, Zadmir's a big fella, but Tomlin still beat the shit out of him. Don't mention it to Zadmir, though. He was all upset about it. But you could ask Kona, his wife. You might find out what's really going on there. And I also know Zadmir the blacksmith finally got himself a new apprentice. Ha! He was cursing for ages that he couldn't find anyone who could hold a hammer properly. Maybe he'll be satisfied now. I also heard there are some disputes among the miners. I don't know what it's about, but I heard it has something to do with their traditional archery contest. If you're interested, go and see the foreman Vlak in the Black Horse Tavern. And that's about it.
Interesting news. Thank you, innkeeper.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Grosh told me over a few beers that you had a thing with someone from Horsham, and your husband got battered because of it.
Merciful Mary, so Grosh has been blabbing about me to God knows who. The shame of it. I'll have you know I did no such thing. I'm an honest woman.
My apologies. I'm merely repeating what I heard. So how are things between you?
There's a powerful protective charm I desperately need. A Thunderstone. It's a great rarity. But Tomlin Bruthans from Horsham has one. He just won't let me have it. The thing is, he sometimes wages it in fights.
I see. Now it all makes sense to me. So that's why your husband fought him.
Exactly. You see, nothing dishonest. But Zdemir is feeling ashamed that young Bruthans gave him a thrashing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you want me to fight Tomlin and win the stone for you?
Well, yeah. And I know I'm asking a lot, but I'm really desperate. And I have no one else to turn to. I prayed fervently to the Virgin Mary and implored her for help. And now you've shown up. Besides, by the looks of you, you have the strength of a bull, perhaps two. So she surely sent you to help me.
Look, this Tomlin seems pretty handy. I'd have to be daft in the head to fight someone like that. Especially when there's another way. What if he were to just lose the stone? These things happen, don't they?
You mean... No, that wouldn't do. You're asking for trouble if you steal something like that. It would cause very bad luck. Besides, I'm of honest stock.
Oh, I understand. No offense. I just wanted to look at all our options.
A fair fight is our only hope, believe me.
Why are you so desperate for this piece of rock?
That's my business.
Look, if I'm to help you, I need to know what you're going to do with this stone. I don't want to get caught up in any witchcraft.
This is no witchcraft. It's just... Fine. Listen, I'm afraid for my child. And myself. All my babies died shortly after birth. Bless their souls. And birthing is very hard for me. I nearly died last time. The stone has the power to help me and protect my next infant. That's why I want it.
All right. I'll help with your trouble.
Mary, Mother of Mercy, thanks be to the both of you. This means so much to me.
Save your thanks for when I bring it to you.
I shall. Don't you worry about that. We've got some groschen put by, so you'll be handsomely rewarded. I'm also on good terms with Hannah, so I could put a word in for you at the stud farm. She'll give a generous discount if you want to buy a horse from her. And I'll pray and intercede for you, I swear.
All right, you have yourself a deal. I'll go to Horshan and take on that Tomlin fellow.
God bless you. The Broodhands have a big farm. There's a wayside shrine in front of the gate and an orchard out the back. That's where you should find him. But be careful and don't underestimate him. The stone has great power and it won't be easy. See you, sir.
Quick! Quick!
Greetings. What do you want, you rotter?
Hey, Tomlin. People around here tell me you have a Thunderstone.
People say all sorts of things.
They also say if I beat you in a fight, it's mine.
Those days are over. There was a time I'd put it up for grabs in fights with cocky fools. That much is true. I even had a couple of craftsmen come from the burg to try their luck. But everyone got a thrashing. Well, then I decided to retire. It didn't seem right, and my conscience was getting the better of me. Well, as for you, you've cut the locals down to size. Impressive work. So there's nothing here for you now. But if those fists of yours are still itching, you could try your luck over in Miskovitz. Blood runs hot in those lads, so you'll fit right in like a thumb up an arse. And if you're as stupid as you are brave, there's a shit pit in the burg they call the Hole. They're hard as nails there. Beat the shit out of each other with iron gloves. Fucked up if you ask me, but each to his own.
Thanks for the tip. I might drop in if I pass that way.
Yeah, a fella like you's gonna be a tough nut for them to crack.
You know, about that Thunderstone.
What now?
I want to see the stone first.
You what? Don't you believe me? Everyone here knows I have it.
Well, exactly. Everybody knows you have it, so why not show it to me? Besides, I've never seen a magic Thunderstone, and here's my chance. I may never have another.
All right. Have it your way, then. Here it is. Almost as smooth as glass, and pointed at the end. It fits into your hand just right.
Wait, is this really it?
Of course.
I don't think it is.
Well, I think you know fuck all about it, and you wouldn't recognize a thunderstone if it dropped out of the sky onto your head.
Oh no, wait. I read something about that. How was it? A thunderstone, otherwise known as fulgur conditum, is an earthly mass struck by lightning, which then conceals itself within. This stone lies buried deep under the earth before ascending to the surface after 7 days. A round hole is punched in the stone itself by the thunderbolt. But your stone has no hole.
Oh, you're a scholar, are ya?
Well, I learned enough to spot when someone tries to hoodwink me with a rock they picked up in a creek.
I didn't mean to deceive you.
Stop fucking me around. I need to find the Thunderstone. Do you have it or not?
I don't have it now. I really did find a Thunderstone. And I had it right up until the other day when it was stolen. I didn't want word to get out because I'd look like a right fool. So I acted like nothing happened. I'm sorry for leading you on. I didn't mean any harm.
And do you have any idea who might have stolen it from you?
If you ask me, it was that Hansel from Rabosh and his little mate Peter. They were ever so curious about it right before it disappeared.
And you didn't do anything about it?
Of course I fucking did. I went to wring their necks, but they disappeared like the steam from my piss. They must have seen me and bolted, which only confirmed my suspicions. I haven't had any luck finding them since then, though, and I don't have time to chase them around the countryside. I have the farm to take care of.
All right. I'll have a look for them.
Well, when you get to Rabosh, take the main road away from the fortress until you reach the first farm on the right. There are hired hands there. That much I found out. If you find the stone, please bring it back to me. I'll make sure you're well rewarded. You have my word. I was the one who found it, so by rights, it's mine. It was destined for me. To mess with fate would only bring bad luck and misfortune.
Tell me, how did you come by the stone in the first place?
That's a secret.
If you came by it honestly, why be so secretive about it?
I'm not hiding anything. I'm just not one to brag, that's all. And until it's back in my hands, I don't want to talk about it.
I can appreciate that, but sharing a story isn't exactly bragging.
All right, then. I found it a couple of years back in a field outside Billany. On the way to Wizard the Quarry. You probably know the place. I was going to take a shortcut through the woods, but there'd been a hell of a storm about a week before. It tore off roofs, carried away some shepherds' huts, even toppled the tower on those fortifications at Gutenberg. And it very nearly flushed us out of here too. A proper act of God it was. Well, the forest was a complete mess, so I couldn't go that way. So I decided I'd go through the field. And all of a sudden, I stumble over something. And what do I see? A Thunderstone right under my foot. Stroke of luck it was. What did I do to you?
What do you...
I need to find a Thunderstone, and I heard you might know of one.
Oh, yeah? Who told you that, then?
Tomlin over Horsham Way told me you pinched his Thunderstone. You and some Hensel fellow. So you better come clean before I let Tomlin beat the truth out of you.
Fuck me! So Bruthan's made you his lackey? As if that stone hasn't caused enough trouble already.
Watch your tongue. I'm no one's lackey. And you, go on. What happened with the stone?
We fucked up. And all because of that stupid stone. I wish we'd never taken it.
So Tomlin was right. It was you. Where's the stone now?
I haven't the faintest. It was all Hensel's idea and he had it on him the whole time. And before you ask, no, Hensel's not here. Andrew is holding him captive.
For fuck's sake, I'm missing something here, and it's not just the stone. So tell me, what the fuck happened?
We wanted to butcher Andrew Ramhead's band of pillagers, but that's easier said than done. So Hensel got the idea that we could borrow Tomlin Bruthen's magic stone from him to help us fight them like, but Tomlin wasn't having it, so we filched it without him knowing, and then set off after those bandits. But everything went to shit. They caught Hensel and almost killed me and Stislav. So, you come a bit late for that fucking stone. Not that it brought us any luck anyway. If I were you, I'd give it up as a lost cause.
Where can I find this, Andrew?
Are you fucking with me?
No. I'm sorry about what happened to you, but I badly need to find that stone. You don't just lose something like that. And from what you said, it seems I don't have much choice.
I'm telling you, that stone's cursed. Weren't you listening to me?
You may have had bad luck, but that doesn't mean it's cursed. With stuff like that, you're playing with fire. You stole it from Tomlin, so the power of the stone turned against you. I didn't steal it from anybody, so I have nothing to worry about.
Well, if you put it like that, that never occurred to me.
You see? Now tell me where this camp of theirs is.
You'll come across some ponds between Raborj and Bohunjovic. Near one of them, there's a fork where wayfarers sometimes camp if they're stuck for a place to stay. From that fork, follow the water downstream, and you should find the ruins of an old mill.
And that's where they're holding Hensel? The one with the stone?
Yeah, there. But if I were you, I'd stay off the path. Take the hill and nip through the woods. You'll get to some rocks overlooking the mill. You'll have a bird's eye view of everything from there. That's the way we went too. But make sure they don't spot you. There's a good chance they've upped their guard after our attack.
Sound advice. Thanks.
Look, what's your plan anyway?
Well, I'm thinking if I can find Andrew, I'll find Hensel. And then I'll finally get to the bottom of this shit with the Thunderstone.
Just be careful, because Andrew's a cunning fucker. Look, since you're going there anyway, I know I'm not in a position to ask you for anything, but still, do you think you could rescue Hensel?
And how, pray, do you expect me to do that?
I don't know, just something. Because if you don't, I don't know who will. Andrew's a greedy bastard. Some coin might do it. Or you could sneak in quietly and slip back out with Hensel.
How about I just kill them all?
I thought best not to suggest that. You know how we ended up. But, you know, whatever you think's best. It's just, they're pretty tough and well-armed, you know.
I'll manage somehow. But the whole thing's getting so messy, it's almost like the stone's power is interfering somehow. But if I find a way, I'll help Hensel.
Thank you so much! May all the saints be with you, and I hope you have better luck than we did.
Slowly. Nice and slow. Quick! Go! Whoa!
Grand! Our place! Get clear off! My God! I must be a
I want
mad...
to talk to Andrew Ramhead.
All right. You'll find the commander at the entrance to the encampment. But be quick. No fooling around. Shouldn't be getting
I don't... Hey, you there. This is a military encampment, not an alehouse. So you better have good reason to be here. And welcome to my humble encampment, lad. In the name of Sigismund, by the grace of God, King of Hungary and Croatia, tell me what you're doing here and what your intentions are.
Kindly spare this man, for he's actually a noble lord. And listen carefully. I am Chenyek of Krumberg, sent by the king's army. The commanders have heard that instead of guarding the roads, you've been robbing and fleecing the local people. And they're bloody livid. So from now on, you'll follow orders or be pilloried and forfeit your pay.
Sorry, sir. It's just, we haven't been paid for a while, so we've been taking a little on the side, here and there. That was the deal, wasn't it? Live off the enemy's land?
Enough of your excuses. Your conduct has been indefensible. You will desist immediately, return what you were plundered, and hand over to me the local stable boy in your custody.
Very well, sir. As you wish. You can take the prisoner right away. He's tied up, back there, in the dilapidated hut. And please, accept this small, humble gift from me, for causing you such a journey to right our wrongs. Thank you, sir, for not sending us straight to the pillory.
Hey, clear off! By all the saints, don't leave me here! Please, untie me!
Relax. I'm getting there.
Thanks. Right now.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how grateful I am, but I'm not hanging around here any longer. Let's get out of here before those thieving bastards change their minds.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I am. All things considered. Thanks for rescuing me. You have no idea how grateful I am. God knows what they would have done to me in the end. All that aside, who are you, anyway?
Henry.
I'm Hensel, and I owe you big time, Henry. Though, in all honesty, I'm not sure why I was worth all that trouble. But grateful nonetheless.
Peter told me what happened.
Peter? Well, thank the saints for him. So he's safe and sound, is he?
In a manner of speaking. He got shot, but nothing serious.
What about Stislav?
I have no idea.
Well, I hope he's all right and all.
Listen, it wasn't exactly by chance that I ran into Peter either. I was looking for you in the village because of the Thunderstone you stole from Tomlin in Horsham, who, by the way, is royally fucking upset with you.
Well, I suppose I would be too if I were him. But I have to say, the whole Thunderstone idea was the stupidest I've ever had. It brought us no luck, no protection. Well, the opposite, in fact.
Let's forget that for a moment. What I really need to know is where the stone ended up.
You won't be surprised to hear. Ramed snatched it from me when I was captured. He didn't believe it had any powers, but he has a nose for money. That's all that matters to him. From what I heard, he sold it in Sukdal to some farmer's wife, I think he said, Mlada or something, well, from the edge of the village.
Sakra, that stone really is cursed. Well, there's nothing for it. I'm off to Sukdal.
Hold your horses. That wasn't the only thing I heard. There's this pond below Raborsh, right? And on the bank, across from the village, there's a small crag. Somewhere around there, they hid some of their spoils.
Well, they hid it all right, but not well enough.
What? You filched Andrew's stash? Well, good for you. Serves the bastard right. I was going to cast an eye there myself, but I see there's no need to bother now. Well, thanks again for everything, and God be with you wherever you may go.
got on you.
Garden the other day, and that dog of yours.
Have it your way. You should have listened.
Calm down. I surrender.
When a guard orders you to do something, you do it right away. So now, first you'll pay.
Utter nonsense, all of this. You're keeping me from an important mission. You'll have to answer to the nobility for this.
Oh, I apologize, my lord. I must have made a mistake. Let's just forget about this.
Day for some fine wares. What are you
I heard you bought a Thunderstone from Andrew Ramhead. Is that so?
Well, it is. What's it to you?
Andrew Ramhead took it from Hensel from Raborsh, who in turn stole it from Tomlin Brookhans down Horshan way.
And? I don't know those people. Even if it's true, I knew nothing about it. I bought the stone fair and square, and for good money. My husband's gravely ill and nothing's helping. The stone is to heal him.
And what ails your husband?
Peter went to lie down one afternoon and he hasn't budged since. He's not eating, and he's barely talking to anyone. What's worse, soon after he took ill, a Minerva owl perched on the roof one evening.
A Minerva owl? I assume that doesn't bode well, does it?
No, not at all. An owl on your roof means death is closing in. That's why I need the stone. If it weren't for the stone, I'm sure Peter would be gone by now.
I'm afraid the stone is unlikely to do him any good. It only brings bad luck.
What? What are you talking about?
You see, because it was stolen, there was a switch in its power. It no longer protects from misfortune. Quite the opposite, in fact. It's cursed. Toying with these things is playing with fire.
I don't believe it. You made that curse up. I'm quite sure the stone will help Peter.
Listen, we need to get that stone out of here. If you want, I'll take a look at your husband and see what I can do about his malady. And then I'm going to take that stone away from here. The longer it stays here, the more trouble it'll cause. I'll return it to its rightful owner, and that will lift the curse. Do you agree?
All right. Fine. But just do something for Peter. And please hurry. With that owl and everything, I'm quite sure the Reaper's nearby. You'll find Peter in his room.
All right. I'll take a look at him and see if there's anything I can do. It's usually a good idea to speak to others who are close to the sufferer. That may be able to explain a few things, especially if the patient himself isn't very communicative.
Aha. I see you really have done this before. I'm starting to believe that stone really did draw you here. So, ask around on the farm if you need to. We'll all be at your service.
Perfect. I'll get on with it. And I'd better check the whole room, just in case.
Do whatever it takes to help Peter.
Can you think of something that might help me heal him? Anything?
I can't. I'm desperate myself. I've tried just about everything. Peter is just an ordinary cooper. We've lived here for years. We go to church. My husband doesn't travel outside the village often. This last time he had some business in Pechgau, near Golin, but he came back empty-handed. Breathless and confused. He was fumbling around here for a few days, not doing his job, just spending time in his workshop. Lord knows what he was doing in there. Then he went to bed, and since then, he's just been lying there. He doesn't eat. Not even the potions are helping. He doesn't sleep a wink at night. At least, I don't think he does. If I stopped sleeping too, our homestead would fall apart.
I'll ask him why he can't sleep. What's tormenting him?
Try that. He won't speak to me about anything. It's as if he was keeping secrets from me. Or maybe just protecting me from something. Well, God be with you.
Peter, my name is Henry. I'm here to help you.
Another poor bloke that's to deal with me, as if Mlada didn't have enough on her plate already.
I'll try to figure out what's wrong with you. I'll examine you. Just by eye. Pale skin, dark circles under the eyes, a downcast expression on the face. I don't see any bruises. A few calluses and cuts on the hands. Nothing unusual for a craftsman after a hard day in the workshop.
I told you, I'm not in any pain. Just let me lie here.
Irritability. No foul odour. Bodily humours aren't leaking. And you aren't bleeding.
But I will, when Sigismund's horde gets here.
Why would Sigismund attack Suchtal?
He does as he pleases. You have no idea how many villages he's plundered already.
I reckon attacking a village protected by a fortress is the last thing Sigismund would want to do now.
The fortress is what's bothering him. That's why he'll destroy it. And us with it.
I don't know about that. Don't be alarmed. I need to take a closer look. Let's see. No swelling. No cancer on the skin. Does this hurt?
Nothing hurts.
Your palms are cold. Your muscles are tense. And your heart's pounding so hard you could hear it all the way to Prague. You seem like you're ready to fight. Or flee.
They're getting close now.
Who is?
The soldiers. Sigismund's men.
Well, physically, you seem fine, Peter. It's strange.
I'm a weakling. A weakling.
What are your nights like? Mlada said you don't sleep much.
I just stare at the wall. I try to sleep during the day, but it's not much better.
Well, it's certainly no fever or pain that's ailing you. I assume it's dark thoughts that keep you up at night.
I can't fall asleep. Because of all the noblemen who keep coming to Lord Pisek's fortress, I'm always hearing hoofbeats, and they startle me.
So Lord Pisek likes to host nobles at his fortress? What's so unusual about that?
And what do you think they're doing here, eh? Preparing for war. That's what.
If Lord Pisek was about to go to war, he'd be gathering a lot more men here than a couple of nobles.
Folk ought to be scared to leave the village. Mezoles is gone. And when I saw Abatovitz, Suchtol is next. I'm sure of it.
What am I going to do with you, Peter? There's nothing wrong with you physically, so it must be an ailment of the soul. The chamomile decoctions will help calm your mind, but you'll have to change your diet as well, so you don't just drink potions. And last but not least, some words of encouragement wouldn't be amiss. You'll be back on your feet in no time. I'll get things ready and be back soon. Peter, let's talk about how we can help you. I have some suggestions for treatment.
I'm listening.
You should drink the chamomile decoction. If you wait a while, I'll get some for you. You need to start eating again, even if you don't have an appetite. First, ask Mlada to get you some honey and add it to your gruel.
You think some honey is gonna save me?
It'll give you stamina without irritating your stomach, first of all. But you have to admit Mother Nature has it well thought out. Where bloodwort helps with bleeding and feverfew with fevers, honey coats your humours so that they can't get out of balance so easily. Any melancholia wanting to take hold of you would have to make its way through thick honey, so it could hardly get from your stomach to your head. And soon you'll be as busy as a bee again, and getting on swimmingly. Which brings me to my next piece of advice. Start eating fish more regularly. Some nice fatty ones, ideally. Fat in the belly will surely stop gloom from getting through. Same as with the honey.
I suppose that makes sense.
I didn't want to leave anything to chance, so I cast a spell here.
What kind of spell?
I bury protective relics here on your property.
Where did you bury them?
I can't tell you that, naturally. If I told you, they'd lose their protective powers.
And what did you bury?
A battle axe. It belonged to a warrior who fought at Nicopolis. He's a priest now. He fought with Sigismund there.
One of Sigismund's soldiers? Then you've cursed us, not protected us.
On the contrary. The axe knows Sigismund's tactical weaknesses. That's why I chose it. I also added a monk's bone,
What monk?
one from Sasau. He performed great miracles there, helping refugees from the war and aiding the construction of the monastery. It's no chicken bone from a charlatan. And finally, I buried some eggs.
Eggs.
Seeds of life. If the army really does attack, these 3 things will protect you. They will weaken the soldiers, help you escape, and when you return to the village after the siege, life will blossom here again.
I thank you very much.
A bit of prayer won't hurt. Lord, have mercy on Peter here, and lift from him the weight of his affliction. For you have laid upon him this affliction to try him. And you see that Peter, O Lord, endures your trial patiently and without contradiction. Unless you, O Lord, relieve Peter of his illness, no physician in the world can. I beg of you, O Lord, heal his soul and let his body once again find its lost balance. Amen.
Amen.
Listen, Peter. I know you're worried about the army that's passing through the country. I'm not much of a speaker, but let me tell you something from the heart. If you're scared of Sigismund's soldiers, trust me when I tell you, when it comes down to it, it ends up being a one-on-one fight. And you'd be surprised how much strength and courage you can find when you're backed into a corner. So don't run from your fear. Laugh in its face instead.
I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about Mlada.
Then keep reminding yourself of that. Look at me, a blacksmith's son. Why do you think I am who I am now? Because I decided I'll never turn my back on my loved ones again.
You're right. I mustn't leave Mlada to fend for herself.
Don't run from the fight. Especially the one going on inside your head. Well then, I've tried my best, and I hope it's helped at least a little. I'll come back in a few days and see how you and Mlada are doing. I examined Peter, found out what I could, and tried to cure him. I'll come back to see you in a few days. Until then, it's hard to say how things will turn out.
Thank you. I'll pray for you and for Peter's recovery.
Besides praying, you can brew up some of the chamomile decoction. It's made of wine, chamomile, and sage. You boil the ingredients briefly, then strain. It's not difficult. And even if you don't do it exactly right, it'll still help Peter.
I'll learn how to do it. Thank you very much, Henry. I hope things turn out all right.
How is Peter doing?
Henry, it helped. Peter got up in the morning and went straight to work. I can tell he's still fighting something in his head, though. He looks fearfully to the horizon, but hopefully things will get better with time. It won't go away as quickly as it came, but we'll get through it somehow.
Just keep giving him hope.
I will. You can count on it.
I'm glad I could help. But don't forget our deal. The Thunderstone is mine now.
But the stone helped Peter. We need it, and I'll never be able to afford another one. It'll protect our homestead. And what if Peter's illness returns? Then I'll need the stone again.
The stone has great power, but it's used up all the strength it had for you. Now it's time for it to help others.
You're right. Here, it's rightfully yours. It's hard to give it up, knowing how much I spent on it. That's why I can't give you anything else as a reward right now. But believe me, I'll spread the word of how you helped us around the village.
Thank you. That's good enough for me.
Take care. Good night.
I found the Thunderstone.
Really? Oh, God bless you, Henry. Without the stone, I don't know what I would do. Or what else could help me.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now. Take the stone. I hope it helps you.
Thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me. This stone will make giving birth easier and save my baby's life.
Glad to have been of service.
I'll get Hannah to give you a lower price at the stud farm, as I promised. And you know what? I'll share a piece of wisdom my grandmother taught me. She said you need to brew nightshade with twice as much mugwort and a good splash of brandy. That's how to fix a concoction that'll clean you out at both ends and cure all sorts of ills. She used it on me after I gave birth and said it saved my life. So it could come in handy for you too sometime.
Thanks. That sounds, let's not say dangerous exactly, but definitely fascinating. I'll just make a quick note so I don't forget. Not sure I'll ever muster the courage to try it, though.
Think nothing of it. And if you want, stop by and talk to my husband, Demir. He's a very skilled man. And since you've been so helpful, if you like, perhaps he'll let you in on some of his blacksmithing secrets. Oh, and I also have some money put aside for emergencies, so you can have that. It's not much, but it's all I can give you.
Hold on to your money. I'm sure it'll come in handy for you at some point. I was glad I could help. So let's leave it at that.
Oh, Mother Mary. What a noble man you are. Thank you.